All right, what's going on, guys? It's Uncle Muscles. How you guys doing? I'm going to show you guys today how to install the ROCm driver on your WSL2 Microsoft Windows Ubuntu Linux subsystem. I don't believe it works with 2402 or 2404. You're going to want to use Linux 2204. That's the best version. You're going to need to make sure you have your WSL2 installed, not WSL. You need the updated version of WSL. You're also going to need this driver installed. This is a new driver that was just released within the past few days. And this is what enables you to interact with your AMD graphics card with the Windows Subsystem Linux. This didn't exist last week, and a lot of people have been trying to find like certain packages on the Windows Subsystem Linux GitHub and stuff, and they just haven't existed. So this is awesome that this just came out. I didn't know. I've been using ZLUDA in the meanwhile for most of this stuff. And also, full disclosure, two things. One, this is an unsigned driver, so you need to make sure that you need to make sure that your secure boot is disabled. For example, if you're using Valorant and you have like what's it called, whatever their anti-cheat is, Warden or whatever. No, that's the Blizzard. Whatever the anti-cheat is for Valorant, make sure that you need secure boot enabled for that. In your BIOS, you have to disable it. So you're gonna have to make a choice, either Valorant or your AI stuff. If you're doing this on, well, you will be doing this on Windows, so that's what it's for. Anyhow, so yeah, so this will brick your WSL2 installation, and I have to like put out another video on that, and I'm gonna have to go on GitHub into, because I've seen a lot of users like not be able to start WSL2 within the past week, and like even I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I stumbled across. I just kind of pieced everything together, like trying to figure out what I did. Just retracing my steps, and I was like, oh yeah, this isn't signed. So that's probably the reason why my computer was taking 6 hours to boot, and that's the reason why WSL2 was not starting, and boom, guess what? It seems like I was right. Maybe I'm wrong, but give me some feedback in the comments below if you're having any of those issues, and if that fixed it. I'd really appreciate that, and spread the word, because probably a lot of people are pulling their hair out, because once again, AMD has done a phenomenal job with their software, and their driver update has made people spend 8 hours plus trying to understand why their computer doesn't boot anymore. So yeah, anyhow, that's pretty much par for the course with AMD. I just did another video on why NVIDIA has the corner on the market in AI and machine learning, and that's the reason. It's just because their software is doggy. AMD has miserable software. They have miserable drivers. I love them. On paper, their hardware is better. On paper, their software is doggy. So we're done with that. We're done with that discussion. And then did I mention also, okay, so yeah, if you're running ZLUDA currently, and you're trying to use ROCm, and you use either Facebook Research's PyTORCH 3D and or HPCA, I don't even know what that is. If you're running Colossal AI with ZLUDA and you manage to get it working, do not switch to ROCm. Colossal AI is not supported currently with ROCm, and neither is PyTORCH 3D, so don't do that switch. In general, this video is going to be kind of focusing on ComfyUI and PyTorch, and making sure that this runs specifically with that. So yeah, if you're trying to use PyTorch 3D or Colossal AI, just stick with ZLUDA for the time being. Okay, so where are we? So there is a PDF file that they release to make sure to like kind of guide you through the installation. That's what we're going to be using. I'm not going to follow this directly because I'm using Python 3.11, not 3.10, and they kind of tell you to use 3.10 in this. And you don't have to. At least I don't believe you don't have to. And then if I'm wrong about that, please in the comments tell me why I'm wrong. Okay, so I am using also the AMD GPU install script. I don't know if the native Ubuntu driver works. I didn't try that yet. I imagine that would be an easier installation, particularly for a couple of these steps, and I'll go over that in a second. Okay, so first what you want to do is make sure your app is updated. Apt is the package manager for WSL. I love when I try to copy stuff and it just doesn't work anymore. That's a new phenomenon, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but every time I try to copy and paste out of browsers, the copy is not working. Also, I've created a new user, ComfyUI, for this specific example. I have this running on my main user. I just want to show you guys how this works. Okay, so you're going to want to wget. So you're going to download this deb file. Oh, my God. They really make this PDF sucks. Wget, and then I have to add this part now after because they added this weird, stupid character in the middle to show that it's part of the same line. I hate AMD sometimes. Wget. Okay, cool. So this is going to install the... Cool. And then we're going to install this after we've updated our apt. That's already installed, right, of course. Now, this is the interesting thing. So you don't have to do this list use case thing, but let's do it. I just want to show you what it is. This is kind of what got people kind of messed up before. And honestly, I don't know if you could install the other driver if you just read this correctly before, but it didn't seem like that is the case. Because DKMS, it makes it so it doesn't install the kernel driver, which is what the problem was, that there was no WSL kernel driver that would talk to the GPU. So we're installing it without that, and for some reason that works now. The one thing I did differently was I think I installed graphics also, and I don't think you need to install the graphics on here. In this case, it doesn't say you need to. I just did AMD. In fact, let's just follow the actual thing here. We're gonna. Well, this might change my installation. Well, whatever. We'll find out. AMD GPU install Y, which we'll set it to yes. These once again, these are the different use cases. So WSL, we're using the Windows Linux subsystem, and then ROCm. ROCm actually includes the ROCm library, the HIP libraries, and all the ROCm stuff. So it includes everything. So we need everything for WSL. What does WSL include? Does it not say? Oh, it does. Oh, okay. That's what we want. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's just these three. So it comes with ROC R, WSL runtime, HIP runtimes, OpenCL runtime, and profiler, tracer, and debugger tools. Cool. That's what we want. So we're going to install that. Beautiful. That's already installed. In your case, it might look a little bit different. And then it's going to ask you to shut down WSL. I don't have to do this, but I'll just show you what that looks like. So in PowerShell... You're actually going to want to run this as... Well, you don't actually have to run this as admin, I don't believe. But if you run it as admin, I think it might work a little bit better. But you can just... In my case, I'm copying and pasting. But WSL shutdown, that'll just shut down all of your WSL instances. And you should be able to restart at that point. However, like I said, if you've restarted your computer after installing that driver without disabling the secure boot, one, you're going to have an issue prior where it's like, we can't find the hardware, and then two, it's gonna brick WSL not trying to find it. So I ran into that. But once you've installed it, you should be able to see that it's installed by using ROCm info, right? Cool. Excellent, cool. So we can verify that I have ROCm installed. Now I have an integrated GPU on my CPU, and it reads that. It reads that as GPU architecture 1030. Whereas we really want to make sure that we're compiling for GFX 1030, where it doesn't say it here, but it does pick that up. We really want to make sure we're using GFX 1100, and we'll get into that. I'll probably do another video on that too for just installing certain basic things. But you're going to have to keep that in mind if you have an integrated GPU, that you're going to have to switch. You're going to have to export some of the variables to make sure it's working correctly. This is how you uninstall it too. You can just do sudo AMD GPU uninstall. We don't need to do that, obviously. And then this is super important. We're making sure that we're installing it for PyTorch. Now, I have done something different. Since we're doing this with ComfyUI, we now installed the driver. Everything's installed. It should be installed. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Now we need to install PyTorch, but before we do that, we're gonna create the ComfyUI virtual environment. So we need to go to Comfy Anonymous. We're gonna get the code. We're gonna copy this in our ComfyUI user. We're gonna do git clone ComfyUI, and then cd ComfyUI, and then we're gonna check our Python version. Okay, cool. So we're using Python 3.111, and then what we want to do is Python venv, right? And then I put it usually in this folder. We're going to create a virtual environment for our ComfyUI Python. This is like kind of important. And then we want to activate that. So source / .venv. Well, I'll just show you where that is, by the way. So if you just ls And you can see, so that actually makes that folder right here. And so all we're doing is going now into that and activating the Python environment. So we're going to source dot venv, whatever, bin activate. And now you see to our here, it's just we've activated that script. So now we're actually in the virtual environment, and this is where everything gets kind of funky. Also, there is one thing I think I forgot here, and we're gonna have to go back and double check some things. I'm not in the right thing. Did this say to add the user? Sorry, we're gonna double check something really quickly. Where's my thing? Because there is another issue here where we're supposed to add user to render in video. Did we just skip over this? You know what? We didn't install the video graphics. This might not matter. But if you install the video graphics, I'm going to have you do this. I just want you guys to see this really quickly because this might get you guys caught up in the future. I'm going to add my user to these groups. And you might not need to do this, particularly because, like I just said, I was kind of pointing out how we're using the WSL use case, and we're also using the ROCm use case. We didn't include video use case, or graphics use case, rather. And I think the video and render comes from that. However, you might want to use the graphics use case, for things like FFmpeg. I'm not really 100% sure. You want to keep this all in mind. So this is going to be super important. But for the way that the installation is working right now with ROCm, and to get everything running, you don't need to do that. But just so you know, as a little caveat, you might want to add your current Comfy user, user mod, add user. Don't I have to put in a username here? Do I just put in ComfyUI? There we go. Okay, now I think that was it. So it says log name here, and I'm not really sure why it says log name, but the idea is you're going to put in ComfyUI or your username. It's going to add render in video to ComfyUI. That should be the actual thing. I just want to put that as a caveat. Sorry if that threw people off. People are going to get upset going, Uncle Bosses, why did you derail us? This is really important if you added graphics, because you're not going to get stuff to run most likely. Anyway, so now we've added ComfyUI to those to that group, and that's super important. Now, we've created our virtual environment. I probably should have done that before, not to confuse people, but we created our virtual environment. We've added ComfyUI. Now, to get ComfyUI to install, once you added that virtual environment, we're going to, let's just actually just double check with the, let's follow their installation instructions. They say to install, PyTorch before the requirements. I'm going to do it after. Just because it seems to be everything runs a little bit more swimmingly like that. I could be wrong. But so we're in the virtual environment, right? So that means Python is running. I'm going to copy this. This is going to, if you look here, it's going to there's a requirements file within the ComfyUI project. For some reason, this is not copying. Copy. Cool. We're going to install from that requirements file. See how it's installing PyTorch and all this stuff? This is the reason why I wanted to run the requirements first, because we actually don't want them to use this version of Torch. But I'm going to install all the requirements first, and then we're going to install over that the other versions of everything. So this is going to take some time, and I'm probably not going to speed up the video at this point because I'm lazy and I don't like editing my videos. And then also I do enjoy just doing things in real time. It just allows the users to see what's going on. So we're just going to take this moment to enjoy each other's presence. And then you guys can just angrily type in the comments at this moment. You can go, Uncle Muscles, I hate this part of the video. Uncle Muscles, you truly suck. Because whenever I watch your videos that are just helping me do things that I would have no idea how to do otherwise without your assistance, you make me listen to you just ramble on about absolutely nothing. And so I am bored, and so what I will do is now comment on your video saying that I hate you, Uncle Muscles. I hate you so much. I hate your face, and I'll never go watch you on Twitch, and I hope that your computer blows up. All right, I think we're doing okay here. So we're going to have to reinstall this thing. So it's going to install the requirements first. And these are all the requirements too. I guess what we could have done is maybe kind of just gone over the some of the requirements before we just installed it, but it's okay. Bam. Okay, cool. Now, since we've installed that, right, what we want to do is make sure that we have the ROCm version of Ubuntu of PyTorch. That's really the only thing that's going on here is ROCm. And then this suggests to use the nightly version, and I agree. I think I agree with all this. This is fine right now. This is great right now. So we're going to pip install, and then it's the pre-release Torch, Torch Vision, Torch Audio, and then it uses the index URL of the nightly version of ROCm 6.1 PyTorch. So bam. My return button is like, oh, okay. I shouldn't have done. I should have just followed the installation the way they did it. We're gonna have to uninstall now. Pip. So if you did it wrong, like how I just did, that's good. Now for the purpose of this video, I'll show you how to do it correctly. Pip uninstall Torch, Torch Vision, and Torch Audio. Cool. And now for something completely different. Now we're going to reinstall PyTorch with ROCm. And to be honest, now within retrospect, I'm thinking now that there actually was no requirement on PyTorch, unless it was greater than something, because it really installed a very minimal version, like the original version that was installed. What was it? Oh no, it was 2.3.1. That's the right one. Okay, I don't really know what I'm talking about. That's fine. I could have saved this all a step here with just installing this directly, and then I just hit return accidentally, so that just paused the install. So once again, this is going to take some extra time for no reason, and then once again, I implore all of you to now go to the comment section during this part of the video, and then you can just type angrily. Go to the comment section, go, Uncle Muscles, ooh, this gets me all steamed up when you just make me wait while you're downloading and installing things. Uncle Muscles, can't you just edit your videos? Uncle Muscles, wouldn't it be just better for the viewer to just edit your video? But then if I did that, let's just say you're right, you would miss out on all these little gems right now of me just being funny and being entertaining, and then having the fun. This is the creative part of the video. You put a gun on a stock and it becomes an automatic rifle. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I'm not going to edit this video, and then I implore you guys. But I also would be really nice for me to stop pausing the install. I don't know why I do that. Actually, if any of you guys know how to disable double-clicking your terminal window to make it stop responding, please, in the comments below, tell me how to do that, because that's killing me. Like, I constantly am trying to do stuff, and then, like, I guess I'm double-clicking, and then it just, like, I guess that pauses the instance or something? I don't know. I really don't know what that does, but we need to stop that. As a group, we need to stop that. That's our job. Okay, so we're doing the Python installation, and this is where it gets important again. So now we've installed that. We just with the PyTorch installation. So now we're going back and forth here, and everybody's gonna get really happy with me when I do this. But we're going back and forth here. We have to go back to the PDF because when you install PyTorch, this is gonna get people this little piece of the puzzle right here. You need to update the WSL compatibility runtime. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means copy and paste this junk into your terminal box, or else ROCm doesn't work with WSL2. That's what that means. Okay, it means follow the freaking PDF, or else you won't be able to do this. Now, luckily, this is for once, I did this correct on the first try, and I was like, oh, that's probably really important, isn't it? Yeah, it is, because if you happen to reinstall ROCm in your virtual environment, you will have to redo this. This is a really important step. You will have to redo this. Now, what is it doing? It's just creating a variable. It's finding the location of Torch. You don't even see that. It sets that as the variable. Then you're going to change that location. So you're going to see now I just changed here. Now we're going to add this. We're going to remove the runtime that comes with Torch. And then we're copying, pasting the runtime. This is very similar if you've used ZLUDA. We're copying, pasting basically the driver to the PyTorch installation. And I think that is it. I think that's it. Okay. Now we did that part. We're going to just CD. All right. Alrighty. And now, can we run it? Let's just double check. I think we might be good. Pip install, run it. Yeah, Python main. We're going to try it. Now, it's not going to run perfectly, but let's just try it. Oh, no, actually it ran perfectly. Okay, great. So I showed you guys how to do it. Now let's just double check that it's actually working. How about that? How about them apples? Well, let's open up a new private window. There we go. There you go. Yeah, it was using my other installation. Cool. I guess we should probably run it then, right? Oh, I don't have a checkpoint, do I? Okay, unfortunately, I don't have any models installed or anything like that, so you're going to have to take my word that this all works. This is just how to install it onto ROCm WSL2 Linux. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. I appreciate any feedback. I apologize I don't edit my videos. Check me out, twitch.tv/UncleMuscles. That's where all the magic happens, okay? And then on top of that, I'm going to put it in the description below. Go check out the Stability AI Discord. Definitely, more importantly than anything, check out the ComfyUI Matrix chat if you're really interested in this stuff. And that's it. Big shout out to Lisa Sue. I love you, baby girl. Big shout out to the Comfy community. Big shout out to ROCm and those guys. Did I also mention check out the AMD ROCm? I mentioned this part, right? This is super, yeah, flash attention. Go check out this. This is where you get a lot of the stuff that you might need. And I think that's it. I love you guys. I have to go. Bye.